My name is Guan from Seoul University. I am also participating in the East Asian Industrial Productivity Project as a faculty fellow at RIETI. I am very happy to have an opportunity to comment on Professor Kim's presentation. During the past 60 years since the normalization of diplomatic relations between Japan and Korea, economic relations between both countries have steadily deepened and developed despite historical conflicts and political upheavals. Professor Kim's presentation reaffirms that Japan and Korea need each other economically and that both countries benefit greatly from trade. I think this is a very insightful presentation that clearly showed that the only way for Japan and Korea to be safer, to grow, and to remain major leaders in the global economy is to coexisting, co-opetition, co-development, and co-responsibility. I would like to talk about two new trends that require the relationship between Japan and Korea to take on a new stage. First new trend, cultural and artistic activities are removing psychological barriers between the people of Japan and Korea. Twice, I've aespa. They are my favorite idol groups, which have attracted further attention in both countries. These groups include Japanese members, Twice, Momo, Mina, Sana, IVE, Rei, in aespa, Giselle. I am big fan of Sana and Rei. The first of the left is a Japanese drama assigned Korean actors and got popularity among Japanese people. On the right is a poster for the Korean TV show Hanil Gawangjeon, which appears Japanese singers. It's incredibly popular in Korea. In my understanding, it was the first time that Japanese singer sang the Japanese songs in Korean TV program. I believe that through dramas, TV shows, idols, and movies, which are the result of collaboration, Japanese and Korean are deepening their understanding of each other and increasing their favorable perception of each other. I think it can be said that the cooperation between Japan and Korea has raised level of music, movies and dramas to the world's top level. Next, I would like to talk about being behind. Second new trend, the threat of a winner-take-all that will affect the global economy with American Goliath companies such as GAFA leading the digital transformation. If Japan and Korea lose the competition for digital transformation, there is a high possibility that both countries will fall into developing countries in the near future. The two graphs below show that there are no Japanese or Korean firms in the big leagues in terms of firm value as indicated by current market capitalization, and no firms except for Samsung are competing in the technology wars of the future. Just as the creative industries such as music, drama, and movies won over Hollywood through co-opetition and co-development between Japan and Korea, I think co-opetition and co-development are the only way left for Japan and Korea to achieve sustainable economic growth without losing the fierce technological competition. I believe that a joint industrial policy between Japan and Korea is essential to respond to digital technology that have strong network externality and economies of scale, as France and Germany have successfully done with Airbus. That's all for my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Kon. Professor Kim, would you like to respond to Professor Kon's comments?
Yes, sorry about my ignorance of these idol groups. I don't know any of these groups and the names of Japanese singers. But I sincerely agree with Professor Kwon's comments. We have to promote cultural exchanges and making more cases of collaboration between Koreans and Japanese in many cultural events, also cultural teams, and then perhaps young people get more acquainted each other. You also mentioned that industrial policy should be joint, is area two countries can jointly, participate. This is, I think, very good opportunity. So, R&D activities, also nurturing future entrepreneurs. These areas can be very promising areas two countries can focus on. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kim. So we will now move on to the question and answer session. The first question is about North Korea and Russia agreement and how it will affect the security framework in Northeast Asia. So while information is still scarce, I would like to greatly appreciate your insights on this development.
Yes, nowadays news are coming in, therefore it's too early for me to understand the whole picture of this treaty between two countries. But this is my preliminary assessment of this new development. The first question is about the economic security agreement between two countries. Well, in economic terms, I'm not so worried because Russia and North Korea are not that complementary in terms of trade. Most of trade of North Korea is with China, but 95% trade is done with China. And Russia and North Korea trade energy, perhaps food, but not that much in other areas. Therefore, exporting weapons to Russia and receiving aid of, say, energy and food, that may help North Korea economically, but that does not solve economic problems North Korea faces. Therefore, economic complementarity is limited. Having said that, the most important one, perhaps North Korea can expect from Russia is energy assistance, also having foreign currencies by dispatching workers to Russia, perhaps also tourists from Russia. So this income in hard currency is important source of hard currency earnings for North Korea. But overall, I think economically, Chinese and North Korean relations are far more important than Russia and North Korean relations. The second one is, Can I continue or should I stop here? Okay.
As you like.
All right, okay.
Shall we move to other?
All right. I think it's the perhaps it's the audience may ask question about sort of military cooperation, security cooperation. We just had got news. The preamble was now is the is given to us is that if either of these two countries are attacked, the country should provide assistance, including military ones, without delay, with all necessary means. This is very similar to the contents in the treaty between China and North Korea. This is, I think, is the more worrying than economic complementarity. This is a grave concern, how it evolves, okay? But still too early to say whether this is a kind of new wave of relations, these two countries' relations, or a kind of a short-term or interim agreement, because these two countries need each, okay, desperately. Okay? But when something changes in geopolitically, this could affect treaty as well. So we don't know yet, okay, whether this is a really new situation or a situation which may prevail for time being. Thank you.
Thank you. The second question is about your indices. And your indices are very interesting. But so are there any plans the South Korean government present these indices at the G20, for example, and discuss about probably broader collaboration, not only Japan and Korea, but also other democratic countries, for example, other OECD members?
Well, if the G20 countries, okay, invite us, okay, I or my colleagues are very happy to be there to present this index. But also government officials may present this index as well. And so we're very happy to do that. Actually, we are very closely communicating with policymakers in South Korea. When we present this index, officials from President's office participated. Also, some policymakers participated. So when we have more fuller picture, we now have index based on trade. We plan to expand this index, including investment and finances and value added. Also, some supply chain focusing on AI, semiconductors. Then we can have a fuller picture with more detailed information. Then I think the right time to present this whole picture with more details at big, the government events or G20.
Thank you. The third question is supply chain dominant index and other index developed mainly for government use, or the private company can also use and get insight about their vulnerability?
For both.
Both.
Yeah, government is very important in making policies. Obviously, our security, economic security index is very important for them as well. But also, nowadays, private companies have bigger challenges, okay, which coming from geopolitical disruptions. And I heard a lot from company CEOs about these disruptions. So they have to be well prepared for this kind of disruptions. So we have this kind of index. Also, we try to match this index with data for individual country, like index of democracy, etc. Then a CEO of a company which thinks about investing in a foreign country may understand whether this country is really a good recipient of FDI or is rather dangerous. Okay, that way I think this index can be used, usefully. And so this index is in public domain. Okay, we have a fuller data as well, which are not yet in public domain, but the aggregate result is already in public domain, which can be accessed from anywhere in the world.
So the fourth question is, China is often seen as a leader in green technology, and Japan and Korea are both behind. And often it is argued that Japan and Korea depend too much on imported fossil fuels. So are there opportunities for collaboration on green technology and clean technological development or supply chains of energy issue?
Yes, that is one area. Our team is called Task Force for Korea-Japan Cooperation. Look at this carbon neutrality issue very seriously. So we have some suggestion on this matter. When I visited Japan early this year, this topic was one of the topics we focused on, how to make good cooperation in improving carbon neutrality between these two issues. And Japan and South Korea are very complementary. South Korea is very strong at the SMR. Japan is very strong at the other, the non-fossil energy generation. And so very good. I think the collaboration is possible.
Thank you. The fifth question is, if North Korea becomes more connected with economic network of non-democratic countries, what will be the implication from that for East Asia?
Right. Okay. This is an issue which I should perhaps talk for half an hour at least. Okay. But to be brief, that depends upon China-North Korea relation. I guess because as I said, Russia and North Korea relation is limited in economic area. And if North Korea overcomes the sanctions, then I think it requires a cooperation, not only from Russia, but also from China. But China's tightening or loosening sanctions depends upon its relation with the United States. And so it's kind of trilateral relation, okay, not bilateral one. I would expect that China is not that comfortable about this Russia and North Korea relation, with recent law. Therefore, China may give some kind of implicit signal, both countries. For example, to North Korea, they could tighten the sanctions by instructing companies and institutions to apply more strict measurements on exporting, importing of the products which are under UN sanctions. Also, China could give us some kind of signal to Russia, tightening also export. Therefore, that depends a lot about Chinese actions. But these actions are a subset of China and United States relations. And so it's more complex than we can imagine. Therefore, this kind of Russia, China, North Korea can be synchronized or not. Depends a lot upon Chinese attitude and actions, which is affected by China and US relations.
Thank you. The sixth question is, I believe that soft power, such as music, film, and manga, there is a significant area for collaboration between Japan and Korea. So how do you see the potential for governmental cooperation in these sectors? Are there any examples?
Yes, I should learn about this more seriously. And so I would convey this question to first one is who knows much better than either group.
And I think that it is possible to support joint venture business, entertainment business from Seoul government.
Well, if I would propose kind of a fund, which supports South Korea, Japan, mutual construction of films, dramas, or musical events, then I think this is a very good way to make the forward movement.
Thank you. I think we answered, Professor Kim answered most of the questions, I think. So now it's time to close the seminar. And thank you very much, Professor Kim. And thank you very much for your participation in our BBL seminar today.
Okay, it's my great pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.